Drama in Golden State. Jonathan Kuminga returns to the floor, but is he going to be stuck with the Warriors? Mike Dunleavy Jr., the GM of the Warriors, takes a big shot at Jonathan Kuminga, and his agent fires right back. Plus, Ivica Zubac, what is the price on the market for him? And the latest on the Ja Morant situation as well. Lots of stuff to dive into on the NBA trade front as we get close to that February 5th trade deadline. Hit that subscribe button. We're right on the cusp of 40,000 subscribers. Help us get over the top. Push that subscribe button. I'm Trevor Lane. He's Donnie Freeman. Donnie, how are we doing?
Doing good. Yourself?
Hanging in there. I love this time of year. It's exciting. We got a few weeks to go till the trade deadline. We got all kinds of things happening.
You just love the drama.
I just loved it. You know what? I don't love drama like 10 hours after an uplifting win. That's not. So even less than that. Yeah. It was like 8 hours or something.
It's uncanny how good they are at that. Like there's always some big article or something drama related that comes out after those good wins, but it is what it is. If you don't know what we're talking feeling about, good.
Everybody's fighting.
It's man. Don't go on social media today. It's bad.
It's a good time out there. It's good. Of course, we're talking about the big Lakers article that came out this morning. Already talked about it on Lakers Nation. We won't dive too much into that here, but take a look at this. This was Mike Dunleavy Jr. By the way, Jonathan Kuminga played. Can you believe that? He played basketball last night for the Golden State Warriors. They got blown out by the Toronto Raptors, but Jonathan Kuminga played 21 minutes, put up 20 points in 21 minutes, 7 of 10 shooting, 5 boards, 2 assists. Mike Dunleavy Jr. asked about Jonathan Kuminga, said his trade demand, when you make a demand, there needs to be demand. I don't think I've ever heard a GM of a team say about a player on their team, no one wants this guy. That's basically what he just said. No one wants this guy.
Like the most cold-blooded thing I've ever heard from a GM. I don't know. Like, they don't typically say stuff like that. For the record, you know the last time Kuminga played?
It was sometime mid-December, wasn't it?
Correct. Almost a month to the day. The last time he played, according to ESPN's game log for him, was December 18th. Whew. And before that, he played on December 6th. And he was in the regular rotation prior to that. So, been a while. I'm sure that he was, interested to get on the court again, maybe.
His back was hurting, though, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right.
His back hurt. His back hurt.
So maybe he could have played sooner than that if his back wasn't hurting. I don't know.
Well, take a look at this. Kuminga's agent, Aaron Turner, responded on X. And if you can see,
he pulled the AI overview up too.
He did, and you look at this. I mean, this is late, 11:30. There's some late night tweeting going on here. I don't know if it's even called tweet. I guess posting or whatever. Yeah, he pulls up the AI overview of price and demand and how all that works. He's trying to give an economics lesson to Mike Dunleavy Jr. He said demand is sensitive to price or playing time. So if a seller sees demand is low, lower the price point or let him play and demand will go up.
He cooked. He's right.
He's right because there are rumors out there right now that the Sacramento Kings, we know they're interested. They've been interested since the summer, are still interested in Jonathan Kuminga, and the Dallas Mavericks are interested in Jonathan Kuminga. So it's not that there's no demand. There's not demand that provides what the Warriors want. And that is a really key distinction. It's not literally that no one wants Jonathan Kuminga. It's that the Warriors are, a little bit picky in what they're actually taking back.
Yeah, they're asking for the moon with some of their criteria with that, and that's obviously not what these other teams see as a fair value trade as of the moment. But if he was out there playing, performing, looking good, maybe things would be different, which is why when we talked about this yesterday, I said maybe it will be in everyone's best interest to have that happen, because at that point you're able to maybe make a trade come through. But if you're Jonathan, he played yesterday, but we also said maybe you still just don't want to play because maybe you feel some kind of way about them saying, hey, actually, we said these things. Kerr said 15 times you don't fit with our other players, but you know what? We love you again, man. Let's get this all figured out, right? So, but he did play, and it was a blowout loss. But that game was basically. I looked at it. That game was basically garbage time in the third quarter. So I wonder if it was like a serious tight game if they were playing him. And another thing about that too, about like slotting him in as like a rotation guy now, it again can send a bad message. But secondly, isn't Kerr just going to get to a point where the game is close and bench him again? Because that would also send a bad message, in my opinion.
Oh, could you imagine?
Well, they're right.
He put up 20 points in 21 minutes. Like could you imagine if Jonathan Kuminga had like 30 points and you're getting down to crunch time, 4 minutes to go in the fourth, and he pulls in
pods.
Yeah, puts in pods or puts in Moses, like fine players, but pulls. How about Quentin Post? We needed a big on the floor. He pulls Kuminga, puts in Quentin Post or something.
He's trolling if he does that. That's trolling.
Oh my God. I can only imagine the response on social then. But take a look at this though. This should be Jonathan Kuminga. If his primary goal is to get out of Golden State right now, this should be terrifying him because that team option could become a big problem if he wants to get out of Golden State. This is from Mark Stein just moments ago. Is there a Jonathan Kuminga trade out there that the Warriors can conceivably make in the next 15 days that cements them as a title contender? That's hard to imagine. The best short-term option might legitimately be trying to work Kuminga back into the rotation for the rest of the season as badly as he wants to leave in the hopes that his trade value rebounds. The end game in that scenario would be pushing a resolution to Kuminga's future into the offseason by picking up his $24.3 million team option for 26-27.
How many times did I say that was a possibility?
Oh, my God.
Oh, I've said that in like 5 videos. Oh, my God. We're getting close to it happening. That's crazy.
Jonathan Kuminga's house, the walls must just be filled with holes. He's got to be punching holes in walls right now. The best path for the Warriors killed his trade value by not trading him, by not playing him all season, right? They asked for the moon for him over the summer. Asking price was way too high. Then killed his value by not playing him all season. Now they're like, oh, well, you know what? Shoot. Unfortunately, because you don't have any trade value, which is partially and maybe primarily our fault, we're going to have to just keep you past the trade deadline and you're going to have to stay here even longer. Oh, and in order for us to get value out of you now, that means we're going to have you under contract for next year too. So we're going to go ahead and pick up that team option that you didn't want, that we expressly told you we would not pick up. Yeah, but we do have the ability to do it, but we're going to go and do that now. And well, I guess you're just going to have to play the second half of the year so that we can get something of value for you. Jonathan Kuminga, but tell you what, holes in walls, his phone screen has to be just shattered because I'm sure he's hurled his phone as many times. Every time he reads one of these updates, he's got to be getting angrier and angrier.
Yeah, that like on the one hand, of course, he signed the deal. So
sure, he knew it was possible.
It was always on the table, whether he wanted it or not. That's out of his hands. He signed the deal, so can't really feel too bad about that. But yeah, if you're Jonathan, that's absolutely the worst case scenario. You have to play out the rest of this season here, and not confirmed yet, but it's possible you may have to play the rest of the season here for better or worse, and go from there in the offseason. And we saw a lot of the various teams that were potentially interested in him start dropping out. You know, there were so many teams linked to him going back to last season and in the summer. And the only team that's remained a constant has been the Kings. And the Kings are not, they're not really willing to the Warriors haven't been willing to bite on that offer, right? So I do wonder if maybe they do go back and maybe figure something out with Sacramento just to get this done, to get this headache, this drama out of there. Mm-hmm. But if they're dead set on trying to flip him for like a Trey Murphy or a MPJ or these other guys they've been linked to, I just don't know if you can do it if he is the primary asset. You're going to have to give up those picks.
Well, and Mike Dunleavy had a comment about that if they're going to give up picks for when Steph is gone, they need a player who will be there when Steph is gone.
Yeah.
And you could argue like the Nets can go, cool, MPJ's what, 27?
Yeah.
Give us that pick.
Yeah, that's why I said maybe, you do that for MPJ, and when he's about 30, you're able to flip him. 30, 31, you can flip him again.
And there was a report from Anthony Slater that he continues to hear Trey Murphy linked to the Warriors, like the Warriors, not that the Pels want to trade him, but the Warriors want him. I don't see any way they're getting Trey Murphy without putting in at least 2 firsts and attaching them to Jonathan Kuminga. Do the Pels want Jonathan Kuminga that much? I can't imagine.
There was some stuff about them, but I can't imagine either that they're really all that interested.
All right. We need to talk about the Clippers. Speaking of asking prices, the Clippers and their asking price on Ivica Zubac, and the Grizzlies trying to spin things a little bit with the Ja Morant situation. We're going to get to that in 1 minute. Don't go anywhere. Ever hear the Sleeper app? Here's a little secret. It's more than just a platform for season-long fantasy leagues. This year, millions of users enjoyed playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but the app offers so much more. Live stats, real-time updates, and visualizations on all stats. A news feed. This is so important for me. You can get lightning-fast updates on your favorite players and teams. A real-time chat to allow you to engage with other users about individual plays and performances during the NFL and NBA seasons. So download the #1 sports app today. Experience it for yourself. When you use promo code Bulletin, you get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. And by the way, they do have a phenomenal promo going on right now as well. Free $20 entry. Go check that out. No deposit required. $20 entry for free. Go check them out. Use the link in the description down below, and that promo code is Bulletin. All right, the Clippers in a state of transition, perhaps. They've been winning a lot more games lately, but, seasons are changing. Their leaves are changing colors, falling to the ground.
You just had to do it, didn't you?
I had to. I aspire to throw in some type of tree pun every time we talk about
say aspiration, aspire is like the worst thing ever because it's so easy to use.
It is.
It's so easy to use.
And when you say worst thing ever, you mean best thing ever.
Yes,
best thing ever for
worst
us.
Thing forever for them is my point. So easy to use.
So according to Tomer Azali, the Clippers recently rejected a trade offer of a first-round pick and a pick swap for Ivica Zubac. Now, remember, not all picks are created equal, but that sounds like a legitimate offer. Instead, they want multiple first-round picks for Big Zoo. Once again, there's a wide range of value in first-round picks. A top 18 protected first or something for a really good team is not nearly as valuable as an unprotected first for a bad team, obviously. But nonetheless, the Clippers want multiple first-round picks for the big man. Should they move on from Ivica Zubac? When we talk about teams that could position themselves to chase after Giannis Antetokounmpo or someone like that the summer of 2027, certainly the Clippers' name has to come up. You look how clean their books are. Everybody except their rookies from this last year and Ivica Zubac on the book. So should they look to move him now?
Yeah, he's still performing really well for them, of course. He's just Zoo, it's something like I gotta say, like, there's something to be said about the consistency from him. You know what you're gonna get at a base level from him. That's gonna be 10 and 10, something like that. And he's gonna be a solid rim protecting center. He's not gonna get you 5 blocks, but he's gonna use his big body to deter shots, and and he's gonna fight on the glass. He's just gonna be an all-around consistent, solid center that I think would be good. Now, that being said, 2 firsts, unless they're heavy protections on at least one of them, like I don't know if I'm doing that. In terms of the Clippers, I don't know that they should be looking to trade him either. He's not performing the way he did last year, where wasn't he all defensive player or something like that last year. He's not performing to that same caliber, but I still don't know that I would be looking to trade him right now. Yeah, you need more youth on this team, by the way. Like, I wouldn't be trading one of the few youthful guys on the team.
I mean, if you're trading him, though, it's to get really young. Like, Zoo is 28.
Yeah.
It would be to, do we start to, is this part of a process to really tear this down? And he's going to be 29 shortly. In March, he'll be 29. So he is getting up there a little bit. This may be value-wise the right time. I don't think, if the Clippers are continuing to move up in the standings, and they did lose their last game, but if the Clippers are moving up in the standings, then you probably keep him around and see if you can make a run right now. But I don't know that value-wise, trading him when he's just on the right side of 30 and about to get closer to that, or about to get there, that may be actually the right time to sell. I just don't know if the right time is now or if it's over the summer. And I tend to think it probably should be an over the summer thing, because I think the Clippers, I mean, they just moved into the 10 seed. They are in the play-in. I don't think Memphis is going to catch them for that spot. I don't think Dallas is going to try to catch them for that spot. So I would hang on to, unless I get a great offer right now, I would hang on to him until the summer if I'm going to make that kind of a move.
Yeah, when I said useful, I meant more from the sense of if they're trying to do like expiring matching salary plus picks. But if they wanted to jumpstart a rebuild, then yeah, because he's one of the few assets that you do have, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he is a player that a teams would be interested in trading for because all the reasons I laid out before. In terms of where they are now and still wanting to remain competitive, though, I'm not sure that that's in the best interest. But when it comes down to the summer, their books are very nice. They have the ability to make a lot of different moves over the next couple of years, and maybe they do decide to just pivot off of several of these guys for one reason or another. And Zoo could be one of those guys. And at that point, if they make that decision this summer, absolutely, I would try to do that, But for right now, with them wanting to still be competitive, I can't see it. Unless you're looking for an upgrade, I can't see that being a move that you make.
Agreed. I think they would need to get something really, really good. And we're going to obviously keep an eye on Kawhi Leonard, his knee issue. He's been dealing with knee soreness. Obviously, that could go a long way towards derailing the Clippers. I'm just double checking to see. I'm sure their injury report is not out yet, but I'm curious to see if there's any kind of an update on Kawhi right now from the Clippers. I know tomorrow the Clippers and the Lakers play, but yeah, their injury report not yet been submitted to the league. So
I thought you were going to say we're going to keep an eye on Kawhi for his other situation.
Well, we are going to keep an eye on him for that too.
I thought that was where you were going with it.
Well, we know where to find him. Apparently, now we know he's got a $4.5 million apartment or whatever that was.
Yeah. Wherever there are trees is where you don't start looking.
Where you don't look there. If you see trees, Kawhi's not there. If there's one thing he does not do, he does not plant trees. We know that. All right,
that's too bad. Look what you did to me. You've done that so many times. I just had to start getting in on the job.
Oh no, it's fun. It's all in good fun. Kawhi's a phenomenal player.
Oh, of course. That was never in question.
No. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Ja Morant situation. So reports are out there right now that the Grizz are letting it be known that they are okay with keeping Ja Morant past the trade deadline. That they're very comfortable with keeping him. And Zach Lowe said no team has definitively said it's pursuing Ja Morant. So, and he's not wrong about that. And I think what's interesting is, like, you look at the Karl Anthony Towns situation. Have the Knicks put out any intel that they aren't trying to trade Karl Anthony Towns? No. No pushback on that, which is it. No counter report. Normally by now you've heard a counter report. If it's really not true, if a team's upset about it. The Grizzlies clearly were okay with word getting out that they were after Ja Morant because they didn't try to push back against that. Instead, they're saying, we're comfortable keeping Ja Morant past the trade deadline. In other words, there's not a good offer out there for him. It's hard to pinpoint an actual landing spot for Ja, but I think everybody knows that they want to move on from him ideally, even with Ja playing better and saying he wants to stay and all of that. But I do wonder if the Grizzlies are going to be able to find a taker at all. And it could be a similar situation with Cat, where teams are just so reluctant to take on any future salary that it's really difficult to get a deal done right now. I could see Ja Morant back in Memphis. And while the Grizzlies may say they're comfortable with doing that, I think that's going to be really uncomfortable because everybody knows they're trying to trade him.
Yeah. The thing with this is that that's what they're supposed to say, right? Like, you don't want it out there that you don't have to go out and openly deny it, but you don't want it out there that you're shopping somebody for various reasons, right?
You don't want to be portrayed as desperate to trade a player because that's when you just get lowball offers.
Exactly. And that's not, I don't think they're in a position of desperation either. Like, I think they're perfectly content also. Like, if the right deal doesn't materialize, regardless of if he wants out, doesn't want out, I don't know about all that, but regardless, I think they're perfectly content, moving this along and then finding something in the summer or next year. There shouldn't be a rush, I don't think, on their timeline here.
I'll tell you what's not happening this summer. Ja is not getting that contract extension.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's gonna play out just like the Trae Young one did.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's this at? Where's this at? Oh, deadline passes. Okay, well, that's gonna kick the can down the road. The good news is for him, it's different than Trae. Well, for the team too, frankly, because Trae had that option and 1 year remaining. Ja's got 2 years left on the books, just flat.
Crazy.
Yeah.
By the way, we are tomorrow will be 2 weeks from the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's a lot. It feels like that's a lot of time, but it's not. It's going to come and go quickly. But for the teams that have been talking about these players and have had these asking prices, now I would imagine they start saying, or maybe within a week, they start saying, okay, instead of 3 firsts, how would you feel about 2 firsts? Maybe 2 firsts and a couple seconds. Like they're going to just keep going down if they actually are interested in moving this player by that number, by that deadline.
The players that teams want are not available and or the asking prices are high. The players teams don't want are very available. So like Ja and Kuminga maybe is a little bit weird in that teams don't really want him that bad, and yet the price is still high because the Warriors are like, man, now that we lost Jimmy, we definitely have to get a bunch back for Kuminga, and I just don't know if that's going to happen. It's going to be interesting to see how this market plays out. I hope, Donnie, that something shifts here. Something needs to shake up this market even further. The Jimmy Butler injury may be a catalyst, but something needs to shake this up further. We need a few more teams to pivot and say, okay, we're going to sell in order to get the dam to burst and finally get a bunch. I mean, we got the Trae Young trade, but other than that, it's been a lot of anybody want Cat, anybody want Ja, anybody want Kuminga, and a lot of crickets. And then anybody selling Trey Murphy's or Herb Jones's or a lot of crickets because nobody's saying, no, yeah, we're going to sell on a player like that. So, and then in the midst of all that, you've got teams that are like, well, we would give you X, Y, and Z, but Giannis might be available next summer. So we can only give you X in a trade. We can't give you Y and Z because we got to be careful that we don't accidentally spend ourselves out of the Giannis conversation.
Yeah, that's true. So many teams are going to be just pacing themselves to make sure that they have the ability, like you were saying, to pull a trade off if one is on the table. Because that's the other thing about this too. We don't know if he's going to actually ask out, but teams have to do their due diligence and be prepared if and or when he does. And then on top of that, there's that other piece. Did you talk about this? Did we talk about this yesterday about his extension and all that stuff? Like there's a bit there too.
I actually have a little bit of something on that. And I'm glad you brought that up. So I was talking with my front office show co-host, Keith Smith, said, hey, this Giannis extension thing is actually kind of a big deal, right? That Giannis, if he is not able to sign an extension with the Bucks until October, then what could happen is Giannis could say, well, you guys can offer me an extension in October and let's talk then. And that means in July, when most of the activity would be taking place around the NBA, teams would still be sitting out in the hopes that come October, the Bucks would present Giannis with an extension, he would not sign, and then the Bucks could look to trade him because they can ask Giannis in July when there's a lot more flexibility on the market, hey, are you planning on signing the extension? And Giannis can say, well, let's wait and see. And that sounds like a very Giannis thing to do. It's kind of what he did this summer. Let's wait and see what they do. Let's wait and see if the Bucks make some miracle move that's not out there in order to improve their roster. Giannis could, I want to say completely shut down the market, but teams who are interested in Giannis could have very quiet summers waiting until that date. And so my news that we've got here, October 1st, is actually the date that Giannis can sign an extension.
That's so far in.
October 1st. So it's not like we may go into the summer free agent frenzy, starts June 30th, middle of the day, June 30th.
That's like training camp, right?
October 1st is, that's like preseason. That's a few days. Yeah, we could be right there. And my concern is that could cause some teams to be very hesitant to do some stuff in July and in August. That's terrifying, Donnie. Yeah. That is terrifying from an NBA perspective, especially as fans of a team that we know the Lakers would not be able to resist. I'm not saying they would have a real shot at getting them, but they would want to be in the mix to try to get, and a lot of teams would want to be in the mix. So do we get a subdued and quiet July because Giannis says, nah, I'll wait until October and then we'll talk.
You remember how bad it was when Kawhi froze the market?
Yes.
How long it felt, but that was for like, what, a week? It felt 2 weeks. It felt like it was forever. It didn't end.
Giannis could do the same thing.
You're telling me Giannis has the ability. I'd imagine that with it coming so close to the season, what probably winds up happening here is if there hypothetically is a deal, they trade for Giannis under the assumption that he will extend on that number. Would that be a possibility?
You could trade for Giannis, but you'd be rolling the dice and hoping that he would extend.
Yeah.
But my thought is with the Bucks, if the Bucks think Giannis will extend, they won't trade him. The only way the Bucks would trade it, and they may still not trade him. The Bucks might look at Giannis and say, we don't think you'll actually leave. So even though you won't sign an extension, we'll just keep you and we'll roll the dice and we'll risk that you will leave us for nothing.
That's where he would have to say, I don't want to re-sign here.
He would have, yeah.
And so to my point,
but he doesn't want to do that.
Exactly. To my point, say hypothetically he gets traded to the Clippers. Playing devil's advocate here. He goes to the Clippers.
You're planting the seeds.
Yes, absolutely. He goes to the Clippers. The Clippers get him, but you still haven't got that commitment long term from him. Mm-hmm. Say he does say, "Hey, if you trade for me, I'll re-up with you guys." And then when they acquire him, he extends with that new team. That could be a thing as well. So to my point, you talk about how it could take a long time because this would just drag and drag and drag. What I think may happen is because of that, and I think they'd be aware of that in the timeline it could put on the entirety of free agency for all these teams interested.
Yeah.
In that situation, I'd have to imagine that he comes to them and says earlier in the offseason, I'm not going to re-sign, trade me. Because that's the only way this is going to go, right? Because all you're doing is hamstringing whatever team you'd want to go to in that situation, their ability to put talent around you. That's all you're doing.
He should do that. But has Giannis done anything that he should do in this situation?
Well, he stayed. That's what he should do.
Yeah, I will never ask for a trade. That's not who I am, right? I love Milwaukee, but I might not love them tomorrow. Like, what? Giannis, just stop talking. No, I love Milwaukee. I will not demand a trade. Done. Stop talking. Yeah. Someone make this man stop. And then he said, qualifier.
He says, I wouldn't want to trade, but I don't know. Maybe down the road, they'll want to trade me. Dude, they're never going to want to trade you. You're going to be 40 and still playing, and they're going to be like, we love you. Stay. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm going to be so upset if it's July 4th and we're having our backyard barbecue and celebrating the 4th and doing all this stuff. And the whole time the market's frozen. We're on Giannis watch, and he may not actually tell anybody what he wants to do until October 1st, and the contract's presented to him.
October 1st is just way too late. There's no way.
It's because he signed his last extension so late. He didn't want to do it, and then he changed his mind. So he signed it so late that it's pushed the date the window back for when he can sign another one.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that for him, you got to know. You can't push up on the deadline like that. You have to know and tell this team if you are or aren't, because on some level that also hurts the Bucks and their abilities too. They have to operate as if you're staying that entire time, right?
It hurts everybody, but Giannis wants to say, well, but I'm giving them every opportunity to improve their roster, right?
Well, we'll see what happens, I guess.
I hope that's not the scenario. But October 1st, that's the date when Giannis can sign an extension. So Donnie, I think it's likely that we will not have resolution on Giannis's extension when free agency begins and the NBA's transaction period starts for the summer.
Oh, absolutely not. June-ish? Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. We won't find out until, you know what I'll say? I'll say mid-July is when we'll find out. Mid-July.
Mid-July?
And that's already some pretty decent freezing too. Mid-July is what I'll say.
That's concerning.
Yeah. If not mid-July, it's got to be the beginning of August. It's got to be.
Donnie, I don't know if you've seen, but there's a big storm that's going to be hitting a winter storm targeting the Midwest all the way to the East Coast. Here, check this out. I need to make a graphic that has Giannis's face in the middle of this.
That's Giannis right
there. Yeah, we need to save this for the summer, because it is not going to be a warm summer. It's going to be a cold summer, because Winter Storm Giannis is gonna come hit us in July, and he's gonna freeze the NBA.
That's crazy. I could not live, by the way. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
What, in the cold?
I just can't do it. Do you telling me a winter storm is coming? I just can't do it.
Yeah. It's coming.
No. The storm is coming, huh?
The storm is coming. It's Winter Storm Giannis.
No.
Freezing.
No, can't do it.
Yeah. There's going to be more reason to boo Giannis. He might boo me back, but I'm going to boo Giannis when he does that.
Well, I tried to be optimistic. Hopefully I speak it into existence. I said the guy's going to say it like 2.5 months in advance. Like, come on, Giannis.
You give it at least to, I mean, even if it was still hanging out there the first week of July.
Yeah.
Like, most teams want to do their business July 1st through 5th. So, the moratorium lifts on the 6th. Guys can start legit signing contracts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that means too? That means Summer League is going to be, all the buzz is going to be on what is Giannis doing? Can we make a move yet or not?
Conversely, if he just came out and said, I want to be in Milwaukee, no qualifier.
Oh yeah, then problem solved.
Boom. That also works too.
Yeah.
For the people that don't want to see credit, that works.
Sun is shining. Yeah.
The more he keeps putting these stupid qualifiers, the more teams are going to just keep on. Like, okay, sign your extension at the start of free agency. Say you want to stay. Do everybody a favor if that's what you want to do.
Yep. Exactly. Don't do that to us, Giannis. All right, everybody. We appreciate y'all for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Give us your thoughts in the comments down below. We covered a lot in the last half hour here. A lot going on around the league. Again, hit that subscribe button. Till next time. See ya. And stay safe.